10 cancer-causing foods that you should not eat. Food plays a significant role in the development of cancer due to its impact on the body's cellular processes, inflammation, and overall health. Although there is no single food that directly causes cancer, certain food choices and substances found in foods can contribute to an increased risk of developing cancer. The relationship between cancer and certain foods often revolves around specific compounds, chemicals, or habits associated with carcinogenesis, the formation of cancer. In this video, we will explore 10 foods and habits that increase the risk of cancer in the body. Canned foods. Canned foods, although convenient, often raise concerns regarding bisphenol A (BPA) exposure. Bisphenol A is an industrial chemical used in the production of certain plastics and epoxy resins found in food and beverage packaging, including canned foods. It is known as an endocrine disruptor, which means it can interfere with the body's hormonal processes, potentially leading to health problems. Studies have indicated that exposure to BPA can increase the risk of certain types of cancer, among other health problems. However, cautious consumption, opting for fresh or frozen foods whenever possible, and looking for bisphenol-free labeling remains a best practice to reduce this cancer risk. Smoking. The direct link between smoking and cancer is well established. Cigarette smoke contains thousands of chemicals, many of which are carcinogenic. These substances damage DNA, interfere with normal cell function, and trigger genetic mutations that can lead to the development of various cancers, including lung, throat, mouth, and bladder cancers. Moreover, smoking not only increases the risk of cancer, but also exacerbates the effects of other carcinogens found in the environment or certain foods. Quitting smoking and avoiding smoke exposure in secondhand smokers are crucial steps to reducing cancer risk and improving health and longevity. Processed meats. Processed meats include bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats. These meats often contain additives such as nitrites and nitrates, used to preserve color and prevent bacterial growth. When these processed meats are cooked at high temperatures or processed, they can form compounds called nitrosamines, which are known carcinogens. Studies have consistently shown a link between the consumption of processed meats and an increased risk of colorectal cancer and, to some extent, other types of cancer as well. Limiting your intake of processed meats and opting for leaner, unprocessed protein sources such as poultry, fish, legumes, and nuts can significantly reduce this risk. Sugary drinks and sodas. Excessive consumption of sugary drinks and soda has been linked to several health problems, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. High sugar intake not only contributes to these conditions, but also potentially increases the risk of certain types of cancer. Sugar consumption leads to an increase in insulin levels, which can promote cell growth. Additionally, some sodas and diet drinks contain artificial sweeteners, which contribute to harmful effects on your health, including the formation of cancer. Reducing your consumption of sugary drinks and opting for water, herbal teas, or homemade fresh fruit juices can significantly reduce your sugar intake and reduce the risks linked to cancer. Non-organic fruits and vegetables. Non-organic fruits and vegetables are often grown with pesticides, which are chemicals used to control pests and diseases. These pesticides can leave residues on produce, and prolonged exposure to them has been linked to several health risks, including cancer. The Dirty Dozen list, updated annually by the Environmental Working Group, EWG, highlights fruits and vegetables that tend to have higher pesticide residues when grown conventionally. This includes strawberries, spinach, kale, apples, grapes, and more. However, it's important to note that washing produce thoroughly and opting for organic options, when possible, can significantly reduce pesticide exposure. Red meat. When red meat, especially beef, pork and lamb, is cooked at high temperatures or until well done, or charred, it can produce compounds called heterocyclic amines HCAs and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons PAHs. These compounds have been linked to an increased risk of certain types of cancer, particularly colorectal cancer. While red meat is a good source of essential nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc, it's important to moderate consumption and employ healthier cooking methods, such as indirect heat grilling or marinating, to reduce the formation of these potentially harmful compounds. Trans fats. Trans fats are primarily found in partially hydrogenated oils, used in processed foods to extend shelf life and improve texture. Consumption of trans fats has been linked to an increased risk of heart disease and, more recently, cancer. Trans fats promote inflammation, disrupt cellular functions, and can contribute to DNA damage, thereby increasing the risk of certain cancers. Many countries have taken steps to ban or limit the use of trans fats in food products, emphasizing healthier cooking oils, and choosing whole, unprocessed foods to avoid exposure to trans fats. Alcohol. Alcohol consumption is another significant factor that contributes to cancer risk. Regular and excessive alcohol intake can increase the risk of several types of cancer, including liver, breast, colon, and esophageal cancer. Ethanol, the main component of alcoholic beverages, is converted to acetaldehyde, a known carcinogen that damages DNA and disrupts cellular function. Additionally, alcohol consumption can lead to increased estrogen levels, particularly in women, further increasing the risk of hormone-related cancers. Reducing alcohol consumption, respecting recommended limits, and being aware of the risks associated with cancer can help reduce these dangers. Artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners such as aspartame, saccharin, sucralose, and others are commonly used as sugar substitutes in diet foods and drinks. Although they are approved for use by regulatory bodies such as the FDA, their safety remains a topic of debate. Some studies suggest a potential link between artificial sweeteners and an increased risk of cancer, although research results are inconclusive and often contradictory. Moderation and opting for alternatives such as natural sweeteners, stevia, erythritol, or reducing overall sweetener intake may be prudent until more research clarifies these concerns. Salt abuse and pickled foods. High salt intake, especially from processed and preserved foods, has been linked to an increased risk of stomach cancer. Excessive salt consumption can cause inflammation and damage to the stomach lining, potentially contributing to the development of gastric cancer. Additionally, pickled and preserved foods often contain nitrites and nitrosamines, compounds that can form during the pickling process. These substances have been linked to an increased risk of certain types of cancer, particularly those affecting the digestive system. Reducing your intake of these foods, opting for fresh foods, and using herbs and spices as flavor enhancers instead of salt, can help mitigate this risk. Making better food choices is important for reducing your risk of cancer. Although these foods have been linked to an increased risk of cancer, moderation and balance are key. Choosing fresh, whole foods, reducing processed and high-risk items, and maintaining a varied and nutritious diet can contribute significantly to overall health and lower your chances of developing cancer. Always consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice and guidance on dietary choices and cancer prevention strategies. I trust that you enjoyed the content, and click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, and share the video with your friends and family.